everyone, it's great to walk with you again. Today, while we are walking, I'll tell you a story titled The £1,000,000 Banknote by Mark Twain. This is not just a story about a massive amount of money, it's a mirror reflecting the realities of human society. Starving stranger in misty London. The story begins with Henry Adams, an honest young American who has hit rock bottom. After a sailing accident, he drifts into London with absolutely nothing. Henry wanders the luxurious streets of England so starving that he finds himself staring at a bruised pear thrown into a gutter. At that exact moment, from a grand window nearby, two wealthy old brothers, billionaires with more money than they can count, are watching him like a lab rat. They are having a heated argument over a theory. Can a poor but honest man survive for 30 days with nothing but a £1,000,000 banknote without ever actually spending it? They call Henry inside and hand him a mysterious envelope, telling him not to open it until he reaches home. The power of paper and shifting attitudes. Henry stops at a cheap diner, his stomach growling. When he opens the envelope, he nearly faints. Inside is a banknote for £1,000,000, equivalent to hundreds of millions of dollars today. Initially, the shop owner looks at Henry's ragged clothes with contempt, nearly throwing him out. But the moment Henry pulls out the £1,000,000 note to pay for a meal worth only a few pennies, the atmosphere shifts instantly. The owner begins to tremble, moving from scorn to a state of terrified reverence. He apologizes profusely, telling Henry he can eat whenever he wants for free, or rather, just put it on account, simply because the shop doesn't have enough cash to give change for such a colossal note. The same scenario repeats at a luxury tailor. The staff tries to give Henry outdated suits, assuming he can't pay. But once the £1,000,000 note is revealed, the owner bows in service, gifts him the finest suits, and once again begs him to pay later. News spreads like wildfire about an eccentric billionaire walking around in rags but carrying a note that no one can change. Henry becomes a London sensation. He is invited to aristocratic parties, stays in luxury hotels, and receives the finest services, all for free. People scramble to serve him because they believe one thing: a man who owns £1,000,000 can never be short of money. Love and salvation. In the midst of this whirlwind of fame, Henry meets Portia Langham, an intelligent and sincere young woman. Despite living in this golden illusion, Henry is tormented by the fact that he is actually penniless. He eventually finds the courage to confess to Portia that his wealth is just a cosmic joke. But instead of leaving him, Portia loves him even more for his honesty. This imaginary reputation also allows Henry to help an old friend who is unemployed. By simply giving his billionaire's nod of approval to a gold mine in Mexico, investors pour money in, trusting Henry's supposed Midas touch. Through this, Henry earns a massive commission, real money this time, enough to make him truly wealthy for life without ever needing the experimental note. Lessons on human value. When the 30-day deadline ends, Henry returns to the brothers' house. He hands back the banknote completely intact without having spent a single penny. The two old men are astonished to see that Henry didn't end up in jail but instead became successful and happy. The story takes one last surprising turn. Henry discovers that Portia is actually the stepniece of one of the billionaires. The experiment ends and Henry keeps the canceled banknote, framing it as a memento of his journey and his love. This story leaves us with three powerful lessons. 1. The power of credit and reputation. In a materialistic society, the appearance of wealth is sometimes more powerful than cash itself. The note was just paper, but people's belief in it opened every door for Henry. 2. Integrity amidst temptation. Henry succeeded not by spending the money, but through his honesty. He used his reputation to create real value instead of deceiving others, proving that the strongest tool is character. 3. Happiness is not a number. Ultimately, the most precious thing Henry kept was not his fortune, but his love and that canceled note, a reminder that money is a means, but relationships and experiences are the eternal values. And with that, our walk ends here. Thank you for walking with me to the end of the journey, and see you again soon in another adventure with so many more amazing books and stories. Goodbye for now.